Welcome. So in this video, I'm going to look at Milan Fashion Week. I'm also going to be going through my current fashion musings and personal style musings. There's a lot to cover, so grab a cuppa and let's get into it. If you are new here, hello, my name is Esther. I do weekly fashion videos about what's happening in the industry and also personal styling inspiration. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I have my notes for this one. Okay, so this video, we are halfway through Fashion Month and we've just closed out New York, London, and now Milan. I really like Milan Fashion Week as a whole. I think all of the collections have been really strong seasons, really strong pieces that have come off the runway from a lot of the main players of Milan Fashion Week. I particularly really liked the emphasis on styling pieces that already exist in new ways. I didn't really see any new trends, any new styles that have come off the runway. I've seen it as just a slow continuation from what already exists and styled in different ways, bringing out different colors. Maybe instead of having one particular color being highlighted, it's going to be like a different color. I think that's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so it's also, I really like to see that because it's sort of contributed to the slow fashion movement and just sort of death to consumerization, if that's a word, overconsumption of fashion, because we are now thinking about how we can work with what we already have in our wardrobe. And the collections for me, well, I don't see it as stagnant. I just see it as a continuation, as you really don't need something new every 6 months. You still want to wear the pieces that you have and you want to style them differently for each season. So great. I don't care if I am late to the party for collections, brands, or certain buzzy current trends. In fact, I tend to stay away from what's currently trending and I kind of like to discover it on my own. Having said that, I recently discovered the Adidas Originals collaboration with Thebe Magugu. Thebe Magugu is a South African designer. I saw somebody wearing the Adidas Original collection, the pants, and I think it came out in 2022, and I really liked the way that the person was styling it with bright red. Is a great color for autumn winter. Another thing that I want to talk about is like makeup for autumn winter. I've seen on TikTok people have been pulling out like browns and subtle brown nude colors for autumn winter, but I'm like, no, leave the browns, leave the vampy purples and go for, I'm all about like bright cool tones for autumn winter, like a frosty makeup look from the 90s. I've got some images here of like really strong eyeshadow looks with like pale blues, purples, purpley lips. So I'm more about that kind of frosty ice queen makeup for autumn winter, and a little bit more like theatrical with it, theatrical hairstyles, like a bit more performance with my makeup for this season. Yeah, like having fun with makeup looks and bringing back eyeshadows, bringing back all at my bright eyeshadow palettes and having fun using them. That leads me on to MAC as a brand, which has been around for ages and has been always a part of the current zeitgeist culturally, and for a while has sort of lost its I wouldn't say it's fallen off, it's stayed true to its roots. In fact, I was just watching a video by The Understitch about the rise and fall of MAC Cosmetics, and the fall being just that it's just not part of the main brands that people use. But again, I don't like, I was talking about other department store strong brands like Longchamp and the like, I do see MAC having a resurgence of popularity, that people are going to want to have more fun with makeup instead of the Kim Kardashian nudes, the Huda Beauty nude look, like perfect airbrush look. That's that's definitely being phased out, and it's now we're going to see a resurgence of people having fun with makeup, and therefore wanting all the brands that literally bought you that and have always existed. So mark this here, we're going to be having fun with the way we look. Yay. Another thing I want to talk about in the influencer space is Mel Made Me Do It. If you have been a part of fashion, beauty spaces for a while, you've probably heard of Melissa's Wardrobe. She's been around for a really long time as a stylist and doing fashion content and an influencer, and she sort of now traversed into like the lifestyle influencing space more so than just fashion. And she released a collaboration with Blank Street Coffee called the Mel's Maple Matcha. I tried it the other day. It's a nice drink. The maple flavor wasn't as overbearing as I thought it was going to be. Again, for like a matcha drink, it's not necessarily the best matcha you're going to have, but as an overall like iced drink, it's actually it's a really nice taste. And the fact that the collaboration has gone over really well, and it's just nice to see a beautiful black woman collaborating with an amazing brand, and it's just inspiring to be like, don't set your limits to anything small, keep dreaming and keep achieving. And I think I read somewhere that they had been planning it for about a year. So it's like sometimes you really do have to take your time and plan out and execute something amazing, and have your name be associated with an amazing product, an amazing collaboration, and build on that. So I'm excited to see what she does next and how it changes the fashion influencing aspirational lifestyle content space, specifically for black women. How many other young black girls are going to now think beyond what they can currently achieve with being influenced, with doing influencing and content creation. So for the Milan Fashion Week recap, sponsored by Vogue Runway app, because that's where I'm getting all my images from, haha. So we had a wonderful display of fashion, pomp and circumstances at Milan this season. Most of the houses have been producing stellar collections for spring summer 2025. One thing that I kept on saying in the beginning of the video, and the word that keeps coming up when I'm looking at the collections, is continuity, and building on what has been already established and allowing that to actually develop the collections, develop the houses, and to evolve as a fashion brand. With all the constant changing of the creative directors going to different houses, we're still seeing a lot of the reshuffles playing out, and the expectations that they are meant to turn around within one season. The ideas, you can have amazing ideas in your head, and it takes you so long to actually, you have to keep on producing, to keep on executing the ideas and keep on growing and building on those ideas before you actually get to the point where that you're trying to get to. It is about continuously trying and going fun styled pieces in a way that's wearable, if that makes sense. Like most of the times with the Fashion Week shows, all of the main coverage focuses on the most elaborate, avant-garde, or just generally attention seeking pieces on the runway, and designers. That's where the conversation is, and therefore it makes you think that that's what fashion is. But I'm just really into just wearable fashion and inspirational pieces that I know I could style in a way in my real life. It's great to have the fantasy of certain pieces that get made, especially for couture or some of the more brands that focus on that, but I just really like the wearability and the construction, of just a really well-made jacket, a well-made coat, the shapes, the silhouettes of a piece that otherwise may just look very simple and boring. But if you have the eye, I've studied pattern cutting, so I just like to look at a garment and know and see how to construct it and deconstruct it and construct it, and when that's what I like. It's boring, of course, but it doesn't really bring the conversation. But that's the kind of fashion that I like, and that's what Milan had on the runway. And I have a few standouts. Also, I'm seeing like a lot of customer focused designing rather than creative focused designing. I am seeing more as we move away from influencer culture, the customer of brands in any way, with beauty, whatever, cosmetics, the customer being a main focus of the brand's identity and design, and influence it, even though it already has. It's always been influenced what you would see on the runway. I do see that taking precedence more, in the sense that maybe they will have house muses, which a lot of brands do have house muses already, but maybe whereas before there were house muses from just, I guess, the celebrity world, they may have like house muses from their VIP clients and their lives, and want to create collections that they love. I see that becoming more and more part of the marketing strategy, the VIP customer. So my fave pieces, there was a lot of collections. There are obviously the standout ones that every season will always have a conversation around are Bottega, Ferragamo, and the other main ones. I didn't particularly like Ferragamo's collection with the ballet dancers. I didn't particularly, I had nothing to add to the conversation of that. I didn't like it at all. I'm like, yeah. And then as I'm filming this video, Paris has gotten underway, and then Christian Dior did some sort of similar athleisure collection too, and it's just a bit like a stunt to get people talking rather than, and I just was like, no, I wasn't expecting this Ferragamo. Bottega, again, really nice strong pieces, but Bottega for me isn't that there's so much other brands that do what Bottega do so much better. Bottega seems to have a really good marketing budget and can get any celebrity wearing their pieces, any A-lister wearing their pieces to sell it. But in terms of the product itself, I just don't really think it's doing anything, it's carrying anything. And there are so many other brands that even smaller brands, independent brands, that are doing what they're doing, and even other bigger brands that are doing what they are doing better. And I mean the whole general like energy vibe of the brand, more so than each collection by collection. So my top 5, I think I have 5 brands that I love their collections, and I'm going to build my personal spring summer wardrobe around them. The first one is Mara. Loved browns everywhere, loved earth tones. The fact that they're doing earth tones for spring summer, love that. Genius idea. It's a bit of a change from the usual bright florals. I really think the styling was so strong, the simplicity of the clothing, which highlighted the key design features of the designs of the dresses, of the skirts, the silhouettes, the browns and blacks being worn together. Loved that. I loved all the styling with the belted pieces to give a nice cinched waist look on pieces that you wouldn't normally see differently. So they've just taken already established pieces and have created a new way to wear them, or changed on slight changes to it so it looks different, and all the pieces look different in motion. And then in do not be afraid of curves, they're always in the right places. I think with Max Mara, the way the designs are, I see them on, if you are mid-size or plus size, you could pull off wearing these pieces in a way and still kind of feel like you are fashionable. So I, with like quite luxury now trickle down to the high street, with H&M rebranding as like a quite luxury adjacent brand. A lot of the other brands, a lot of other high street brands will probably start tapping into the Italian styling, which gives quite luxury with a nice flair. So can't wait to start seeing Max Mara style silhouettes on the high street pieces too. To talk about was Moschino's. I don't know if Jeremy Scott, I don't know if he's still the creative director of Moschino or not, but when he always made sure Moschino was at the forefront of the conversation around fashion. It was always kitschy, it was always funny, it was playful, it was tacky. It was another side of like Italian fashion that I love, the kind of unabashedly tacky gaudiness of it. They're not trying to be something that they're not all of the loud logos. Again, we're coming out of like quite luxury, so loud, so Machina probably wasn't a part of the main conversation because they're not quiet at all. And I love that. I just loved how fun they were. Again, just super playful, using like historical silhouettes to remind us of fashion's past being ever present. Logomania, absolutely campy and tacky. Yes, like the Machina girl is to be seen and heard, not a wallflower for spring at all. My favorite standout piece was this the frayed leather jacket, and I'm just gonna show you some more pieces. There were other pieces that I also love from the Machina collection that have escaped me, but overall I really enjoy brands that stay true to their own ethics, their own history, their own community, rather than chasing the current trends. Yes. Also, another brand that has caused a bit of a stir and conversation was Dolce & Gabbana with their collection. They Dolce & Gabbana do the same things every season, and I love that. I love that they don't change what they do, and they are a billion-dollar company. They turn over billions a year, and they just do that by doing the same thing. Like, hello, isn't that actually where the success is at, right? Staying true to your roots and your identity as a brand. Okay, so with this one, they obviously were inspired by Madonna's Jean-Paul Gaultier comb bra, the bleach blonde curls, the Marilyn Monroe, the blonde bombshell of the 50s, and there was a bit of furor about it because there were people on Twitter, high fashion Twitter, were saying, oh my god, Dolce & Gabbana ripped off Jean-Paul Gaultier's Madonna inspired collection. And while I don't really see it as, I think, like, firstly with fashion and design, no, there is nothing new under the sun. Everybody is copying everybody, and there isn't and they are, everybody's copying everybody, whether it's not directly, indirectly. Everybody's stealing from everyone's ideas, because that's what, like, creativity isn't this individual monolith thing. You are inspired by the same things that everybody else is inspired by. But with Dolce & Gabbana obviously taking note from a very iconic look, may have caused the conversation that they wanted to keep people talking about them. But I don't even think Jean-Paul Gaultier was bothered. I think he was flattered by the what's that term? Something is a serious form of flattery. You know the term. Copying is the sincerest form of flattering. I'm butchering that, but yeah, the fact that when the looks came down the runway, you immediately knew it was from Jean-Paul Gaultier. So he's keeping his name and his brand and his legacy alive through Dolce & Gabbana, who are maintaining that they're being the forefront of the fashion conversation. So it's kind of like a win-win for everyone. But this white trench coat, this see-through trench coat, I saw it last with Simone Rocha did her version of a trench coat, and this Dolce & Gabbana's version of a trench coat. I'm gonna have a full mood board of this white trench coat, this white translucent trench coat, which I'm probably going to attempt to make myself. Another brand that I really loved their collection was the Attico. So the Attico is a younger brand, a younger house for Milan. So for a smaller brand to decide to show in Paris or Milan probably would be like something quite difficult to do to get the attention and be seen along the noise of these established houses. So you would normally think they would want to go to New York or London because it's kind of the field. the ground is fertile for younger designers to kind of have to be seen and be respected and to grow. But the fact that Attico has stayed holding their own in this amongst the established houses and always have really strong styling pieces. I think the girls started off as influencers, and I see that through their collections, because they have really nice hero pieces that look good in an Instagram photo, in a still an elevated way, that you will scroll through your feed of a lovely fashion people, fashion addicts, and you're going to see that one piece being worn over and over again by different girlies, by your different fashion girlies, and it's like, oh, it's the Atticos. Like they know to design a piece for the fashion girlies who post on Instagram, because it has to kind of, you know, it's like with like Instagram makeup or TikTok makeup, it doesn't really work in real life, but it works online in a photo. And they have some pieces that really do that, and I really liked how their styling. I think they were doing a lot of like athleisure pieces, oversized pieces that look great under like a, you know, a backdrop of some cute Mediterranean like road outside like a little coffee shop vibe. That's what they had in mind. They had a lot of sheer pieces as well, see-through pieces, underwear and outerwear coming back in slowly. So, you know, we've gone through a conservative fashion space with quiet luxury. So it was very much conservative shapes and colors, and now I think, and it's kind of gone too far in the sense that you're either pulled into the really conservative side or the completely liberal side out there, completely Fashion Nova style ripped pieces and saying it's fashion. It's like, I don't want to dress on either side of the spectrum. I want something that's in the middle, and the Attica have some really good pieces that capture the I still hoe but make it fashion. Basically, that's the only way I could think of to say it. The final brand that I really loved was Roberto Cavalli. Again, Roberto Cavalli just does his own thing and has always done his own thing. He does not chase the current trends, and that's so, the appreciation of that is really important for people like me, millennials who are my age group, millennials who have grown up and are growing up now to become the main like spenders of fashion, who will have the buying power, and what we consider and where we choose to put our attention and our funds to is a little bit different to Gen Z, because we're not chasing the trends anymore. And that you will find people like myself who admire those who have the memory of seeing brands stay true to their identity and their original ethos and community, and still do that in that established way 10 to 20 years later and still be loved for that. So if you're thinking about, I want to buy XYZ, I'll go to this brand, not the brand that completely changes their identity every season with whatever's popping, like that will no longer have value to millennials. So yeah, Roberto Cavalli, a great show, brought out some amazing sexy dresses, quintessentially Italian fashion. I see like the customer teaching and informing the brand's direction is just what I wanted to see. The A-line mini dresses, A-line style dresses and skirts are flattering on everyone, and I love the cutout stomach is just enough fuck it, I don't care sexy vibes, but also still demure in a way. Sex is always on the table, but in like an empowering way for women rather than a derogatory way for women. It's sort of like an older woman's sex appeal rather than a young girl's sex appeal. That's what I like about most Italian brands. They do focus on the woman rather than the young girl. And it just sort of creates some timeless dresses, because the shapes and silhouettes are always timeless, but it's informed by what we are, by the current world and what we want to wear. The last two looks that are on Karen Elson, I think it's Eva Herzegovina. Those dresses, I can see those on any sort of supermodel, any red carpet. highlighting the sort of woman beauty bombshell sex appeal of like a certain age, and it's just very like empowering as you age and grow older to know that you can still dress sexily and in a way where you're, I don't know, like with fashion and beauty, there's always a real highlight on youth, right? And youth being associated with the crux of your value. And so with Roberto Cavalli and the collection, generally the collections that I see of him, of his work, they never really focused on youthful beauty. They focused on womanly beauty, which is great for me. Yay, as I age. Wow. So yeah, those were my main takeaway designs that I loved. There's obviously tons more, but those ones that spoke to me and are going to be informing my dress sense and my creativity throughout my life. Yeah.
You deserve so much better than what she's put you through, Miss Min. You realize that? I stand by you every day.
So that was all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you love my content, please subscribe and like this video, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye. How many times can I say video? Bye.